Some of the richest feeling people you will ever meet do not look rich at all, and some of the most trapped people earn salaries that would impress almost anyone. That sounds backward until you notice what money actually changes in a life. Money helps most when it lets you avoid situations you would otherwise have to put up with. It reduces the number of things you have to endure. Financial freedom is often as simple as having a backup plan, another job option, another place to live, or enough savings to wait before deciding. When people imagine wealth, they often picture visible consumption, a penthouse, a watch, a car, or the fantasy of disappearing from work forever. But most people do not actually want marble countertops as much as they want what they think those countertops mean. They want relief from pressure, control over their time, distance from people they dislike, and the ability to stop pretending. They want to wake up without that tight feeling in the chest that comes from needing next month's money to arrive on schedule. More often, they want the ability to decide where they live, who they work for, and what they will no longer tolerate. That is why a person can earn a lot and still feel cornered. Picture someone on a large salary with a brutal mortgage, a long commute, a car payment, private school fees they took on to match a social circle, and a job title that now feels impossible to lose. From the outside, that life looks successful. From the inside, every expense has become a supervisor. The salary is high, but the consequences of interruption are so severe that saying no at work feels dangerous, and freedom keeps getting postponed to a future that never quite arrives. The picture changes when money is used to create room to maneuver instead of to buy more stuff. Money is not only purchasing power. It can let you wait before accepting an offer, turn down terms you do not want, or recover from a mistake without wrecking your finances. If you have enough margin to delay a decision, you do not have to grab the first offer in panic. If you can absorb a mistake, you can take a thoughtful risk without feeling that one bad month will wreck your life. If you can walk away, people negotiate with you differently because they can feel that you are not desperate. You can see this most clearly when someone is able to say no. No to a toxic manager who keeps buying obedience with fear. No to a client who wants rush work, low rates, and endless revisions. No to an investment you do not understand, but feel pressured to join because everyone around you is talking about easy money. No to a relationship that keeps using your dependence against you. For many people, financial freedom means being able to turn down demands that would otherwise shape their life around stress, debt, or dependence. Even modest savings can change how a person responds to pressure. A freelancer with 6 months of expenses saved does not just have a number in an account. He has a different nervous system when an unreasonable client appears in his inbox. He can refuse bad terms, wait for better work, and spend more time producing work he is proud of instead of work that merely stops the bleeding. The quality of his output often improves not because he became more talented overnight, but because panic stopped sitting at the desk with him. Control over time may be one of the most useful forms of wealth because it affects ordinary routines. The freedom to control your mornings, your calendar, your pace, your recovery, and your attention does not look dramatic on camera, but it means less rushing, fewer overbooked days, and more room to rest when something goes wrong. It means you can leave room between commitments instead of stacking your week so tightly that one delay ruins everything. It means illness, grief, or exhaustion do not instantly become financial emergencies. It means your mind gets a chance to think beyond the next deadline. Money also changes where you can live, and that choice affects daily life in concrete ways. Optionality can mean living closer to family instead of near an office that drains you. It can mean leaving a chaotic apartment, moving to a safer neighborhood, or choosing a lower-cost city where your money buys more calm. It can mean relocating for treatments, for cleaner air, for a better school, or simply for a life that fits your temperament better. People talk about freedom as if it lives only in income, but being able to choose your neighborhood, your commute, and your distance from support matters just as much. One reason this gets missed is that income and freedom are not the same thing. Income tells you how much money is coming in. Freedom depends on how much has to keep coming in, how soon, and from whom. A person earning $200,000 with high fixed costs may have less room to maneuver than someone earning $80,000 with low expenses, cash reserves, and flexible work. The first person looks richer on paper. The second person may be much harder to corner. Luxury can become a trap for this reason. Expensive tastes raise the amount of money required to preserve your identity. Once your self-image depends on the right neighborhood, the right restaurants, the right vacations, and the right signals, your lifestyle starts billing you for the privilege of belonging to it. Then every career decision carries social consequences as well as financial ones. What looked like abundance becomes fragility, because your freedom now depends on maintaining a costly performance. A quieter definition of wealth is often more useful. Wealth is runway. Wealth is low fixed expenses. Wealth is cash reserves, skills that can earn money, dependable relationships, and a budget that can survive the loss of one income source. Wealth is having enough room to think before reacting. It is not only net worth in the abstract. Margin is what lets a setback stay temporary instead of becoming a crisis. Money can also buy a calmer baseline, even if that benefit is easy to overlook. Background anxiety is expensive, even when no bill is attached to it. It makes people impatient, compliant, and easier to manipulate. They accept bad timing, bad deals, and bad treatment because the cost of waiting feels unbearable. A financial buffer softens that constant urgency, and that often leads to steadier decisions, less humiliation, and less need to please whoever is in front of you. Broad skills matter for the same reasons savings do. Optionality is not just a pile of cash. It means having more than one way to earn, people you can call for help, and expenses low enough that one setback does not wipe you out. If you can earn in more than one way, adapt to changing markets, and rely on people who trust you, then you do not need every single plan to work perfectly. The person with one glamorous income stream and no slack may look impressive. The person with several workable options usually sleeps better. At the core, this is a point that money advice often skips. People chase money for status, but the emotional states they actually want are calmer and simpler than status can deliver. They want enough room in the budget and calendar that every setback does not feel like an emergency. They want self-respect. They want the ability to make decisions from preference instead of fear. They want control over ordinary choices like when to rest, what work to accept, and who gets access to their time, because most of life is made up of those choices. So the better question is not how rich do I look, but how hard am I to coerce? Can I leave if I need to? Can I wait? Can I recover? Can I protect my attention? Can I choose work, relationships, and environments without begging every circumstance for permission? Financial freedom starts when you have enough savings, low enough obligations, and enough alternatives that pressure stops deciding everything for you. That gap between compulsion and choice is what many people actually want money to create.